Are you looking for a better life and you've tried all of the manifestation, setting intention, tips and tricks that you hear? Probably the reason you're watching this video is you're looking for that kind of life. What if there was one thing that was the main thing that would kind of cut through it all? I really believe there is, and I'm going to share it with you right now. I'm Jim Yaw, and I've been coaching people on how to find their best life for the past 30 years. But over the last year, I've come to understand some things that have absolutely drastically changed my life in 1 year more than the other 30 coaching combined. And I want to help you to understand how to do the same thing. If this sounds like something that would help you, I want to invite you to subscribe, to give this video a like, to leave me a comment. But what is this one thing that is the thing that's most important in all of this? I don't know about you, but I watch a lot of content on here about our dream life, our best life, how to become the best version of ourselves. And I pick up all these tips and tricks and these philosophies, and it can just all get overwhelming after a while. You can start to think, I really don't understand how to do this. What is it here that I'm trying to do? There's all these elements floating around, but I can't seem to put them together. Do you ever feel like that? Well, I want to tell you the main thing in all of this, and it's not what I thought it was a year ago when I started on this journey. The main thing, plain and simple, is learning the practice of awareness in your life. Now, I didn't understand what awareness was when I started this journey, and it took me a while to kind of plug into what it really means. But in a nutshell, awareness is taking the time in your life to slow down and to live in the moment, to become present, to look at what's really going on, not out here, but in here. And when we start to do that, to me, that is the biggest key to manifesting your dream life. Setting your intention and having a vision statement of where you want to go and what you want to be, and manifestation tips and tricks, all that stuff is great and it's good, and I use it. But until you get to a place to where you start to really deal with what's going on in here, you're going to have a really hard time doing any of that. And it took me about a year it took me about 30 years actually, but it took me a year of intensive look into this to figure all that out. Now, let me explain how this works. So becoming aware is kind of like when you drive through a familiar area. I have this beautiful area that I drive through all the time. If maybe where you go to work or where you go to your daily commute or whatever it might be, have you ever driven through that area and found yourself waking up, so to speak, and thinking, oh man, I didn't even notice the big flag that I pass every day, or I didn't even notice the field where the deer all stand that I also pass every day. And you kind of are lost in your own thoughts, in your own world, and you realize you've taken a big part of that journey without even recognizing what you did. That's because you're running on autopilot. Our subconscious literally does about 95% of our thinking for us. That's why you can get in a car after driving it all these years, and you don't have to think about giving it gas, hitting the brake. If you have a manual like I do, you don't have to think about shifting in the clutch. And there was a time when you learned to drive that manual, if you could drive a manual, that you had to really concentrate and understand all that. But now your subconscious knows how to do it. Probably 95% of people as well live in that autopilot mode, never giving a second thought to why you're living the life that you're living. But the truth is, becoming aware is the ability to slow down, to look within and say, why do I do what I do? Why is it I'm not living that dream life I want to live? What is it that I need to do to change that? What is it that I need to focus on? What is it I need to understand? And as you start to do that, you start to look within, you're going to start to see the things in your life that are your limiting beliefs. You're going to start to understand the blockages that are holding you back. Then there are days when I drive through the area where I see these deer and this big flag and all these things that I just really slow down and I soak it all in, and I thank my source. I thank God for the beautiful drive that I have back and forth on my way to where I work. And let me tell you, it's gorgeous because I slow down and I soak it all in, and I'm in the moment. I'm present. I am aware. It's kind of like Walter White said in Breaking Bad, I am awake. And when you become awake, when you become aware, you free your life up. And when you get free, when you do things with ease and you love your life, manifestation is easy because things start to come to you because you've let go and you've let God. I remember back in the 70s when I was growing up, they still have versions of this, but they had these big, bulky, I had some, we got at a garage sale one time, these big, bulky ankle and wrist weights. Do y'all remember those? Then they strapped on. It was before the Velcro stuff and all of that. And I remember, I think the ones we had were this kind of maroon leather stuff, and they had weights in them. And you would strap them on your wrist and your ankles, and you'd run with them. And what they would do is they would condition your muscles over time so that when you took them off finally, you could run much faster. You'd be much stronger. You'd be much freer. And what we do when we're not aware in our life, we're running with all these weights on. You have fears, you have insecurities. Maybe you have a lack of forgiveness. I know I had some things I needed to forgive and some people I needed to forgive that I wasn't even aware of until I started looking deep within and figuring all this out. We have all these weights we carry around, and honestly, that is the biggest thing holding you back from manifesting the life of your dreams. It's not that you don't know the right words or the right mantra, or you haven't set the right intention statement. All those are little things that help you on your journey, but you can't really focus on any of that until you let go of the stuff that's holding you back in here. And what I have figured out in the last few months of this journey is I'm letting that stuff go. I'm experiencing so much more freedom. And what you start to see as you experience that freedom is you will literally start to attract things into your life without effort. You're no longer trying. You're no longer focused on the practices and the intentions and all the stuff. You're just freeing yourself up to be the realest version of you, the most genuine, authentic version of you can be. And you will change your life when you start to do that. And I believe God, your source, designed you as a person to do that. I was an evangelical pastor for over 30 years. I left all that stuff behind and found freedom in a whole new way of looking at life. But I still believe in God and a source, a power greater than you that wants to help you live your best life, that you can co-create the life you want with that source, with that force, with that power. And it all starts by getting the baggage out, letting go of the weights, taking them off and starting to run with freedom. If that sounds like something you would like to do, but you don't know how to do, again, subscribe here below. I invite you to do that. I would love to help you with that. I want to share this because this has been the most life-changing year of my entire life. I'm 55 years old and I'm just getting this figured out. And guys, you can figure it out right now, whatever age you're at. When I look at my metrics here on YouTube, a lot of you guys that follow along here are in your 20s, your 30s. Oh man, I wish I would have figured this out at your age. I don't live with regrets anymore, but I do live with an understanding that had I figured it out then, I literally think I would have changed the world. I'm on track to help change it now with some of you out there, other coaches and other people who are on this journey together. But you can literally change your world and the world when you start becoming aware of what's going on in here, learning to let go of the things that hold you back and refocus on the life you want. Let me help you do it. Go get your best life today because you deserve it.